Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they match up with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. Ended up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. It's San Francisco to keep your eye on. With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo leading out the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. And for Garoppolo, 2-year anniversary of the trade that brought him from New England to San Francisco happened on Halloween. That was back in 2017. And a nice little anniversary gift in 2019. Arguably his best game yet. 317 yards against the Arizona Cardinals and a career-high 4 touchdowns, Charles.
And what was beautiful about that, besides the fact he went to 16-2 as an NFL starting quarterback, here's the thing. The one question people kept asking, can San Francisco win if the game is totally in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands? And I think he answered that question against Arizona on Thursday night. Running game wasn't its normal self, right? Defense played well, but not as well as they've been playing. They needed every one of those touchdown passes and every one of those big throws from him. He has to feel much more confident moving forward, as does San Francisco in him.
By the way, list of 49er quarterbacks with 300 or more yards passing, 4+ touchdowns, and no INTs in a regular season game. Steve Young did it 3 times, Jeff Garcia twice, Elvis Grbac, and then you had Joe Montana do it once, and now Jimmy Garoppolo.
That tells you just how difficult it is to do if Joe Montana only did it once.
Yeah, they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. Garoppolo finding Goodwin and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. There's Garoppolo to throw. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Garoppolo now, first down throw. The Sanders has got it complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Russell Wilson coming out here, still tracking as an MVP candidate as he brings the Seahawks at 7-2 onto the field, coming off their Week 9 overtime victory against Tampa Bay. And now the touchdown-interception ratio for Russell Wilson this year, Charles, 22-1, because what did he have, 5 touchdown passes in that game?
Including the game winner in overtime. And how about he continues to make a case for MVP. Third in the league in passing yardage. About 100 yards short of the leader, Phillip Rivers. You mentioned that touchdown-to-interception ratio, 22-1.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Seattle Seahawks 7-2 through 9 weeks of the season. Their offense coming back out here. You know, Charles, this Seattle team looks really good. We talked about Russell Wilson, how good he's been. Where's the weak spot for the Seahawks crew?
Believe it or not, consistent pass rush. And the reason I say believe it or not, when you think of the players who are along that defensive front, it's a surprise because they've gotten Jaron.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
How about the 2 Bosa brothers, by the way? Both defensive players of the week in Week 8 for their respective conferences. Joey had 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss in a win over the Bears. Nick had 3 sacks and a pick in a win over Carolina. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. And now he'll tuck it in. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
What, on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Hey, come on, come on, come on.
From the 29, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball, so maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. On third down, it's Carson, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. 49ers coming back out here on offense. We mentioned their 8-0 start to the season. They actually broke an 8-game losing streak to the Cardinals when they defeated them.
8-game losing streak?
Yeah, they had lost the Cardinals 8 straight times.
That's 4 seasons worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then a 28-25 victory this past week snapped that. But it was also the first game this year that the Niners have actually thrown it more times than they ran the football, CD.
And that is something that I think people are starting to come to grips with about San Francisco, because you think about their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and his reputation as an offensive wizard. And whenever we hear that, what's the first thing we think? Throwing the football. He's always been a run-based guy, and he wants that running game finely tuned because it travels late in the season and it travels through the playoffs. And that's what leads San Francisco. They had to go the other way against Arizona in order to secure the win.
Well, if the Niners have it their way, the only travel they'll be doing in the playoffs will be to Miami, because as it stands right now at 8-0, they would play at home until that point.
And
I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Well, I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper, right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now, getting set to go again. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust?
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Let's get out the field, defense.
To throw is Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Got Gordon open, completes it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the all-pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll find Metcalf. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw again is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Myers' kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Pushing tacklers aside, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference, as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it. This is a really important drive. And
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start the second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Now Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, with those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Stepping aside from this game for a second, how about us being in Week 10 of the NFL season right now? That makes me want to resurface that MVP talk we had earlier in the year. Who do you have right now leading in the MVP race?
Is this quarterbacks edition only, or can we actually bring other people into it?
Yeah, go wherever.
Because the league does tell you that MVP can be anyone, but numbers show us it's really got to be a quarterback. So let's just start there, right? Russell Wilson in Seattle. I think he has to be a prime guy. I think you have to look at Tom Brady. All right? It's open.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. He returns that punt 73 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. James now to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. It's caught by Sanders. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Garoppolo, 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the window...
And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here we go.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Right there, 54 miles.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, they'll run the screen with Carson. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson, rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wilson going to throw again. And a completion to Wilson. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Wilson gets it to Gordon. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Wilson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes. 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. Now Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. They run again with Breida. Breaks through the contact. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. There's Garoppolo to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. The 49ers now going to use the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Garoppolo looking to throw. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He won't be ready. He won't be ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get ready for the trek back to the city as we say so long from Santa Clara.
What a great city it is. We're going to have a blast tonight.